In today's episode of Value on My Toy Collection, we're going to value some of our Day of the Dead toys and dolls, and a little bit of everything in this upstairs bedroom. In just a couple more weeks, we should have everything packed up for the Toy Museum. Hey everyone, my name's Chris. I'm a full-time beauty pageant director as my career, but in my spare time, I'm a huge toy collector. I've been collecting toys now for over 40 years. You can officially call me a toyaholic. Thanks so much for checking out my YouTube channel. My channel consists mainly of two things: beauty pageants, which I love, and toys, which I love even more. My dream in life has always been to own a toy museum. So it's finally happened. I've bought a building, and now I've got to move this massive collection and value it into the building. We're calling it the Toy Vault because it's an old bank building located in Crystal Springs, Mississippi that actually has two large vaults. So now I'm just going to make a ton of videos and value my toy collection, and then I'm going to make some where I take you shopping with me to thrift stores and flea markets and toy stores to let you see where I find all these goodies. So let's start this episode of Value in My Toy Collection and value some toys. Well, let's jump right in and start valuing these toys. First, we have a Bride and Groom Day of the Dead ornament set. They're worth about $20 for the set. And we have this little skull and top hat that you just hang on the wall. It's probably worth about $3. Have this cool lamp we just covered in all kinds of brooches and beads and everything, and it's worth about $40. And then we have this cool, it's called Sea to Shining Sea. It's a map from Franklin Mint, and everything's three-dimensional. And it's worth about $100. It's never been broken or anything. I've kept it in really good shape over the years. All right, we have all these books with these cool palm tree bookends. The bookends are worth about $20 by themselves. They're super heavy. And then we've got these little egg ornaments I picked up at a flea market. I thought they were super cute. They're worth about $8 each. And we have 4 of those, so that's $32 we can add to our total. And then we have this little miniature scene from Washington, D.C. This is probably worth about, I'd say about $12. And then the larger one's probably worth about $15. And then we have the Seattle Space Needle that lights up, and it's worth about $10. Have this little mirror that's covered in fun little things, and it's worth about $30. It used to be my mom's. I actually made it for her for Christmas one year, and when she passed away, I decided to keep it. But it's got all kinds of little treasures on it. And then I have this. It's like a giant sconce you hang on the wall, kind of like a sconce. I don't know, like more like a shelf. But it came from a theater out in New York, and I think it's worth about $400. It's pretty cool. I wouldn't sell it for less than $400. Then I've got my giant bronze and rust-colored Christmas tree up here, and I think when you add everything up with the tree, that's worth at least $300. It's pretty impressive. Backing this house up, it's about 4,500 square feet, and I've been collecting toys here for about 25 years, so it's a lot of work, and we're finally in the last couple rooms to pack up. All right, going back to those books, we have 13 different books about heaven and near-death experiences. I love that type of book to read, and we have 13 of these. They're worth about $5 each, so that's $65. That little bookmark is worth about $2. Just a little bit of everything here, and I certainly enjoy reading these, and when I retire one day, I'm probably going to reread these. They're so good. All right, then in this bedroom, I've got this bedroom set. I'm actually taking it to the Toy Museum with me. I'm going to turn in the back room into a little apartment, just in case we ever want to stay there. The bedroom set's probably worth about $400, and then that old vanity is worth about $200. That little dresser and mirror, it's antique. We've got this beautiful curio cabinet we've got all these fun things in. It's worth about $250 by itself. And when we go inside the cabinet, we have these little sculptures called Petal Pets. And they're not worth a whole lot, but they're worth about $15 each. And we have 12 of these, so that's about $180 for the set of 12. And I think I got these, I'm going to say the early 2000s. And if I'm not mistaken, I got these at a clearance store for $1 each. I didn't pay much for them. They were kind of different and weird, so I didn't really want them, but I couldn't pass them up for $1 each. So my $12 investment's worth about $180 now. I love it when things increase in value. Now I just have to find the right person to buy them. All right, and then I have these hot wired sculptures by Ann Campbell. She's a local artist here in Mississippi, a member of the Craftsman's Guild. And I have this little fork stand worth about $5 that holds her card. But I got her to custom make several pieces, and then I bought some of her work from the Attic Gallery in Vicksburg. It's where I learned about her. But all her little pieces are made of wire, and it's a soft, pliable wire. It's really cool. So this turtle sculpture is worth at least $20. And then she made these little robots out of old, they're not flash bulbs. They're a tube from the old TV set, she told me. And these little robots are worth about $15 each, and I have 2 of those. I love her work. I love whimsy and cute stuff. All right, we have the little sheep. It's worth about $20. And then I had these custom made. These are to commemorate our cats we used to have. This would be Mocha, the solid black cat. And these are worth about $15 each. No, I think these were worth $20 each. I think that's what I paid for them, $20. And then that was Minnie, the black and white cat. And I love those cats so much. I cried more when they passed away than some family members. All right, we have this yellow dog worth about $20. And then the purple cat's worth about $20. And we have the Mississippi catfish. He's worth about $20. And then this was one of her bigger pieces. It's a rooster. I figure it's worth about $30, but when I turn it over, I see how much I paid for it. I paid about $40 for it, but I think I could get $30 if I was to sell it. She just has some really cute work. And then she did this. This is made from like a mallet and an old wooden shoe and some metal pieces that she put together to make this cute dog. And he's worth at least $40. I think I paid about $60 for him, though. I really liked him. I like to support local artists. I had her custom make this little rainbow with a pot of gold at the bottom. It's probably worth about $20. It's not super valuable, but it's really cute. And then this is not her work. This is a little ceramic head I picked up somewhere, probably worth about $5. I really don't remember where I got that from, to be honest. And then this little golf ball, someone cut in half and did a little head sculpture in it. It's probably worth at least $5, maybe more than that. And then we have the Kissin' Lizards, and they're worth at least $100. I looked them up on eBay, and some people had them about $150. But I think about $100 would be fair. It's super duper heavy, too. All right, let's see what else we have. We'll go to some of our Day of the Dead stuff. We have these little figures in a box worth about $8. And we have a little mariachi band and a singer. They're probably worth about $20 for the set. And then we have these little Day of the Dead earrings. They're probably worth at least $5. And then some little miniature figures like the bride and groom. They're worth about probably $6. And then the little lady with her purse is worth about $6. And then the blue one's worth about $6. Every time we would go to Mexico, I always pick these up. Now the larger one in the pink, she's worth about $20. And then the dancing girl in the box you hang on the wall, she's worth about $12. The bride, she's worth about $15. And then this large silver skull, worth about $12. Let's see, I paid $17 for it. All right, a little more. We have this custom-made doll in the red dress. She's worth about $20. She's hand-painted on her face. And then we have these little rag dolls someone made. These are worth about $20 for the set. And then here's the boy that goes with that girl dancer a while ago. He's worth about $12 as well. Got some of the fabric birds I collect. 2 of these. They're worth $15 each. And then we have a Frida Kahlo doll. She's worth about $15. And then we've got these 2 large skulls from Pier 1. And I think they're worth about $20 each. They were $30 when they first came out, but I think $20 each would be fair. Got a little paper bouquet of flowers. I always pick those up. I'm a sucker for those. Worth about $3. Little paper mache girl, probably worth about $6. And another one's also worth about $6. Then we got this little cute mermaid figure. She's worth about $6. The little frog's probably just worth $1. And then we've got these 3 ornaments, probably worth about $10 for all 3 of those together. They're very fragile. They're hand blown. Then we've got these little skeleton ornaments. These are worth about $5 each. I know I picked those up in Cozumel one year. And this pretty green tassel is worth about $7. Got these 2 little bust figures worth about $10 for the set. Then we've got this pink paper mache and feather girl. She's worth about $15. She's pretty big. Then another custom doll someone made worth about $20. Very pretty. Little felt ornaments worth about $1. Little pinata ornaments worth about $2. And then these 2 tall ceramic figures are worth about $10 each. And then we've got some little Day of the Dead flowers worth about $1 each. We have 4 of those. And this is called an Avalon Elfin doll. Super cute. She looks like she'd be worth more than she is worth, but she's only worth about $20. But I love her. If they came out with a lot of these, I'd probably collect those, but I collect so much as it is. We've got these large paper mache dolls. That first one's worth about $12, and then these last 2 bigger ones are worth about $15 each. We've got this vintage shell souvenir, probably worth about $12. Then we've got a bunch of these masks, and we have 9 different masks, and I figure they're all worth at least $3 each, we'll say, so that's about $27 we can add to our total. And these masks, well, these aren't masks, these are headbands, and they have long black veils. I have a bunch of these little pom-poms on a string. They're all worth about $2 a pack. Some little miscellaneous items there worth about $2. And then we have 2 more of those skeleton ornaments worth about $10 for the set. Got a ton of these flowers. I think 12 different bouquets of those. Those are worth $1 each. And this little paper bouquet of flowers is worth about $5. And then this little skull with ribbons you hang up is worth about $6. This is cool. It's a piece of artwork. It's made from a piece of a tree. And it's these 3 figures. And it's probably worth about $35. And then we have this set of the 2 Dr. paper mache figures worth about $30 for the set. And then this lady with the green glitter dress, she's worth about $15. And then we have this really pretty Day of the Dead wreath worth about $20. Have this jeweled headband worth about $15. And my helper hates to wear headbands, but wouldn't she look cute with that headband on? All right, we have this big mirror on an easel, and it's just covered and loaded with brooches and jewels and everything, and it's probably worth about $200. I have a model of the Titanic ship worth about $100. I think that's what I paid for it. And then I think it's from Franklin Mint or Danbury Mint. It's a fancy Clue board game, and it's worth about $225. This little wind chime I picked up at a little beach shop is worth about $15. And then we have this little cardinal sign worth about $3. A little heavy cardinal paperweight. She's worth about $6. And then the cardinal bell is worth about $6. And the snow globe is worth about $12. And the cool grass plant's worth about $5. Now, going back to the 80s, a lot of girls had a Caboodles case, and this is vintage, and it's in really great shape. It's worth about $20. And then we have this Going to Grandma's suitcase, and it's worth about $15. Have this little April Showers vintage tin can that used to hold powder, worth $8. And a couple little stands here worth about $4. Some old air freshener cans that will eventually be worth something because people collect everything. They're worth about $1 each. Then all this little miscellaneous stuff's worth, oh, look who's there, my beautiful helper. All this little miscellaneous stuff's worth about $1 each. And then this old vintage makeup mirror, it's worth about $15. I have this old vintage comb that's worth about $10. And this really cool vintage brown mirror worth about $15. And then while we're cleaning out this old vintage vanity in the drawers, I found a ton of sunglasses. I have a lot of novelty sunglasses. Here's a set of 6, and these are worth about $3 each. Some really cute glasses here. I'm gonna make my dog Daisy wear those Daisy glasses. These little guitar glasses, they're worth about $5 each. Then here's another set of 4 of these novelty glasses, and these are worth about $3 each. And then we have a whole bunch of these novelty glasses representing the different years. We don't have a complete set, but I don't think these are worth too much. Probably $1 each, and we have 12 of those. Now, these are actually vintage glasses. My mom used to work for an optometrist, and I found these in an old drawer. A lot of these are from the 70s, so I figure they're worth about $8 each. And here's a ton more I found. We'll just say they're all worth $3 each. I think some of them are worth a little bit more than $3, but I'm just trying to make it easy on myself. And then here's 9 more sets of some fun glasses. I got a lot of these at Dollar Tree over the years, but they had some really cute ones. Like, I remember my nephew and I took a picture with those hand glasses just to be funny. Got some of those little party glasses worth about $2 for the set, and some heart-shaped glasses that are huge, worth about $3 for that set. Then I've got this from a cruise we went on. These captain glasses are worth $8, and the pirate glasses are worth about $12. Got some old pantyhose from the 80s called Sheer Energy, and these came in the eggs, and these are worth about $15 a set, so that's $45 worth of old pantyhose the women used to buy. Got this little jokester fingernail polish that spilled, worth about $1. And then we've got these perfumes that are shaped like different fruits, like these chocolate covered strawberries and the pineapple and the cherry and the peach. They're all worth about $5 each. This little perfume bottle is worth about $2. And they really smell good too. The peach one's really good and it smells really nice. And then the Flower Dreams and the pink perfume were worth about $5 each, and the old Rapture bottle's worth about $6. This empty Shalimar box in the little velvet box is worth about $25 empty. All right, the little Avon dog bottle is worth about $12, and the black poodle holder is worth $15, and this perfume's worth about $5. I have this really cool Tammy Faye Baker album. It's worth about $10. I just kept her by the makeup. Then we have these little girls. A lot of parents got these for their kids. They bought them every year from birth all the way up to 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way up to 16. And I figure these are worth about $10 each. Some of them are worth a little bit more than that. But we have 17 total with the newborn. So that's $170 worth of these little girl figures. Sometimes when people are just missing one, they'll pay crazy money for just one, like $20, $25. So I think $10 each is fair for our appraisal. All right, and then we have this really cool music box with this ballerina. It's very nice. And it plays a really pretty song worth at least $20. Got these miscellaneous bottles of perfume worth about $10. We have these small Marc Jacob Daisy bottles full worth about $10 each. Have this really cool vintage rose bowl trinket box worth $20, and an empty Marc Jacobs Daisy bottle worth $20 empty because the bottle is so cool. That's actually the first nice perfume I ever bought my niece. Have this really cool vintage metal tray worth $8, and these little lip gloss containers are worth about $1 each. All right, we've got this big metalhead tin canister worth $20. And we've got this little set of vintage bobby pins worth about $8. And these French mint canisters we bought when we were in France, and they're worth about $2 each empty. But one of them was rose flavored, and I was making everyone taste it. Most people hated it, but I actually liked it. And then we've got this Aquanet drinking little container worth about $10. Got a brass little Kleenex box holder worth about $12. And then 5 of these little brass accessories that are vintage from the 50s or 60s. And they're worth about $10 each. And that's $50. And then those hat pins are worth about $10. And the cotton's worth about $5. Well, in our previous 462 videos of value on my toy collection, our collection was worth $1,156,761. Now with this video, with all of our Day of the Dead and all of our things in our upstairs bedroom, we can add another $4,471 to our total. So that means our grand total for episode 463 of Value in My Toy Collection is $1,161,232. I always wanted to say I had $1 million toy collection, and now I can say it. I don't think I'm actually a millionaire though. I think I'm more of a toyonaire because it's not cash money. But I've just been saving this stuff all my life, going to thrift stores, garage sales, flea markets, toy stores, and looking online, and it's just accumulated to this big old total. So guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you're enjoying these videos as much as I am making them. I like to see what all I have and what it's actually worth. And I'm putting all the toys on our Facebook page, which is called the Toy Vault of Mississippi. And if you haven't subscribed to our channel, please think about doing so because it really helps us grow. So until our next video, we will see you then.